interactivity itself. Like once again, I consider myself an artist more than an engineer, and I usually I have a lot of people asking me like, what's the bridge between being an artist and not an engineer? And I think that is basically how we approach the project of the what we want to be making the project itself. And it's for me, it's more creativity. It's more like how things is going to be at the end, and I don't really don't worry much about what kind of technology I'm going to use, and if I have to learn from scratch, or if there is already existing in there, or if it's going to be a mix of something that is already in the market, I can just break open, hack it up, and do something with it. And during this process, I noticed that my kids, they began to really see how I use technology, and they are becoming very, very interesting in applying technology into art. I have a project with my daughter. I'm gonna talk a little later on. She's a ballerina, and the project is called Body Sound Suit. And then I have two daughters. So my little one, she's 9 years old, and she's very, very interested in approach technology and being more creative with it, rather than just use traditional tools, like for example, use a microcontroller and do a light up in LED. She wants to think about different ways how can that be implemented with whatever she loves to do. Like, it's nothing new. She loves to play Minecraft, so she wants to make her own controller for a Minecraft. So that's something that she's thinking about it. So this gives the idea like how to make her own game controller at home with DIY technologies. Some of my works that I have developed that go from touch-based, motion sensing, sensitivity of the room temperature, and so forth and so on. And this is called the experimental instrument X, and this is a touch-based instrument that I developed the idea and the project itself. And this version is made out of a 5-5 timer, which is basically gave me the idea to make this kit. And it's basically making an old technology, like a 5-5 timer that is being used for so many things, into a touch sensor and use it into a creative way. So what it does when somebody touches an area of the sensor, it's captured by an Arduino, and then the Arduino sends the data wirelessly to my computer, and then the computer generates the graphics and sounds that comes out of it. So, and this is the second version that I have for this one, and the new version, it's the first graphic that you saw on the opening screen. And then comes the cube. The cube, I love so much this installation of the cube, and the reason that I love it is because it was my first experience as an artist incorporating technology. And the idea of not to use a traditional input method like a keyboard or a mouse, and rather make something that is more tangible and that can be incorporated into an art piece, that really fascinated me a lot. So basically today I have this cube in here, so a new version of this one that I'm working on, but this is kind of like my second version of the cube. And something that I really love about this box is that this box was made, I had opportunity to work with University of Hartford and the National Science Foundation in a project. They were teaching inner city kids how to use technology. And at the end of the whole semester, they pretty much gave me this cube as a present. So they made this cube for it, and I love it so much that I incorporate every time that I can into presenting this work. Part of my work is also dealing with the public arena, doing interactive artworks in the public side. And this is a interactive mural that I presented in Hartford. It was up and running only for 1 day, and it was well received. I have a lot of people playing with the mural, and basically what it was is a webcam capturing motion of the individuals and then generating graphics out of their motions. And that really gave me a whole sense of how to incorporate technology in a public level. Like I have a lot of learning, like how to use sensors and be reliable information. They can be presented where there is a lot of a multitude of people and only capture the information that I need and nothing else. So simplicity is very important in my work as well. And that's my daughter. And thank you. And because of her, I decided to go into the interactive performances. She's a ballerina. She's been studying ballet since she was 7 or 9 years old. And we work on this project. It's called the Body Science Suit. And 2 years ago, we presented at the New York Makers Fairs, and we received 2 blue ribbons from the editor choice of the Makers Fairs. So my daughter is very happy about this project. She loves it so much. And basically what it is, it's made out of an Arduino Lilypad, and it has my design of bendable sensors. So when she bends her arms, she generates information that goes through Lilypad and then sends information wirelessly, and all that is transformed into music, and that same information is transformed into graphics.
Would you mind just explaining what the Arduino Lilypad is?
Yes. The Arduino Lilypad, it's a microcontroller. It's kind of like a small computer, the size kind of like maybe like a quarter, a little bit bigger, and it's designed so it can be washable and incorporated into textiles. And that is something that I'm working on, incorporating technology into washable and textile designs as well. So in a little bit, when I see a video of the first version of my body science suit, and this is actually my studio, and the performer is a friend of mine. We were working on these performances. Let's see if I can play it. Go back. For whatever reason, it wasn't embedded into the slideshow. I can probably play it later on. And here we go, the wearable technologies. And this is a project, I'm using a 8080-84, and I'm using watermelon textiles and fabric, conductive fabric, to make sort of like a platform of development for wearable textiles. And I've been working on this project for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch this for maybe 20 times and it's still running. And this really gives me an idea of like, if you have creativity and you apply it to technology, the future just opens up tremendously. Because if you walk away from the just being an engineer and you apply technology into that knowledge, it really blooms so much. And it's and I've been noticing that a lot of artists are becoming very, very interested in using technology into their artwork. And the reason is because of the internet. We are connected. We want to make sense and understand society using art. And the new things of society is technology. So it's very, very logical for an artist to go and understand technology and apply it to it. And it's not that difficult as it seems. It's just a matter of really understanding the principles of technology and be open and pretty much experiment with it. If you have something running, something that works, just keep working on it until you really are happy with it and do something interesting with that technology. Because I have that fascination of technology, I kind of like to understand what technology is and how the language is, like the interfaces. And interfaces, it's something that I'm really fascinated to. And I began to develop my own sensors, and like these are wires and there are touch sensors, but they're a little bit more aesthetical. So they're not like a traditional just touch sensor that is just flat, kind of like a flat coin. I have more kind of like that are more appealing to the eye. So when somebody sees this, they're more like inclined to touch it and see how this works. So the approaching technology in that way is kind of interesting. And I think that technology benefits a lot from the artists, and vice versa, the artists benefit a lot from technology as well. Another aspect of working with technology is that I love to share my knowledge as much as I can. And I love to work with young kids all the way through seniors using technology. And this is, last year I was the maker residence at the Westport Makerspace in library. And we were making a quilt. And my idea of making a quilt is something that is a tradition. They can continue surviving and applying technology to it. So I have a whole bunch of people that came from Hartford all the way through New York to work on this project. And from 5 years old all the way through 85 years old seniors working all together at the same time. We gather every Saturday, and this is single squares on the quilt. Everybody have a section of it. Some of them were working by families, like the father, the mother, and the kids. They were working together in this. And part of the process was to program on the Arduinos and do the electronics on site. So this is what we're working on, programming the quilt and the sensors. I don't know if you can see a little bit the Arduino and some of the sensors. So they're playing around, and none of them ever programmed before. So I just make a copy of the code and just project it and tell them, okay, just play with it. This is basically the principle of what it does, and just play with it and see what they do. They were so excited about this that they were able to even do something so simple like light up an LED. It is so fascinating. Even to me, I love to light up LEDs. And they put a value to it. It's something that I really enjoy a lot. So this is another work that is a little more recent, maybe a couple of years ago, which is basically the same of the experimental instrument that you saw a few slides back. It's a little bit more elegant. It has a little bit more of like organic feeling to it, and where it's more like welcoming, so I don't have to stand there and explain to people how it works, because automatically they come, they see it, they get it, and they start playing with it, and they start making sounds. And I have some opportunities where I have a line during Maker Fair of people waiting for it, and I have like a couple individuals who work there for like 20 minutes just playing with it. And it was such an experience to see like how they were like so fascinated by this work, and it's so simple in my eyes, and that's what I wanted to do, some simplicity and technology. See if we can make this play. No. Let's see. That's the reaction that you see when this lady, she never saw something like this in her life. And she came to the Wesleyan Gallery, sat there, and she wasn't afraid of technology. She just came to it. She never saw the computer. She started playing with it. And that's basically the reaction the individuals get when they see technology that has an appealing to it. And then I asked this lady, what would you do if this is a computer, and there would you play? She said, no, there's no way that would play. What about if this is a piano, like a piano? I would be afraid to come and play with the piano. This is more welcoming. So there is something like how we generate objects, make objects as an artist, as makers. They really challenge a lot of things that we have in society. And that will be, this is basically what I do as an artist and as a maker. And I love to make things since I've been a little kid. I remember one of the things that I did when I was back in Guatemala. I come from a family that has very low income. So when I was a little kid, I wanted to be an artist. It was one of my dreams. And I saved a lot of money for a couple of years to buy my paint. painting. So kind of when I have the exact money of it, I went to the store, got the paints, came home, and then I realized that I needed to have a canvas and a brush. And I always have a long hair, so I just cut my hair, went outside, got a bamboo, and made my own brush out of my own hair. And then I needed a canvas, so I went to my bed. I cut the one section of my bed cloth or sheet, whatever his name it is, and I made my canvas out of it. My mother got so angry. So that really makes me understand that you can probably make anything that you want. That you don't have to like spend a lot of resources into it, or you have to just look around and make stuff out of it. So now I'm gonna show you guys this work. I know some of you want to see it, and this is based on my own software. There you go. Let's play with it.
That is so cool.
So basically this installation is about the relationship between tangible reality and digital reality and how we can approach it and have an object that interfaces the two of them.
Yes. You work when you were in the room?
There is a webcam, so the webcam is on one side of the cube. And it works up to 40 feet away. That's the range. It's a Bluetooth power. And I have another